Now in RB8, contacts are individuals who work for firms you do business with. And the examples will be attorneys, secretaries, paralegals, adjusters, and so on and so forth. Now, again, to add a new contact, you can go to Setup, Contacts, or again, using the icon we provided that looks like a Rolodex file. That's a contact, so let's go ahead and click on that. Now again, same recommendation here. Do not assume that this contact is not in the database. And the mistakes that are easy to make in RB8, especially for the beginning users, is that they just keep entering duplicate attorneys all the time, which you can go ahead and merge them later. But why create them and then merge them if we can be careful at the beginning? So what I recommend is that you always pull up a firm to see all the contacts in that one firm before you can add another attorney accidentally, maybe as a duplicate. So here is the firm, and then there is a vernacular. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. Let's say the firm was the Young Lee, Law Office of Young Lee. So we're going to go type Lee. And there is the firm. So we're going to go ahead and double click to select that firm. And then I'm going to do search to show me all attorneys for this firm. And then system tells me there are no contacts found. Do you want to add a new contact? And I'm going to say yes. So now, unlike firm, the individuals, whether they are attorneys or reporters, they have what's called display name that is different from their first name, last name. So what I recommend is that you leave the display name blank. You tap down to the first name and put in the individual's name first. Okay. And then if you go back up here to display name, then it'll give you choices to select, for you to select from. And what I recommend for the attorney, because of the letters that invoices will be generating for this individual, that I want to do this natural first name, middle name, and last name order like this. So that I'm going to select Young B. Lee as the display name. Okay, job title. If you wanted to use it, you can use it. The main number, all the phone numbers will be copied from the firm itself. If they do have a direct phone, then you can put it in here, their mobile phone number and their individual direct fax number. Attorney contact type will be attorney as a default. That's what you selected. You can select something different. If they're not, then you can select paralegal, secretary, and so on and so forth. Warning. Now this is a slightly different from the firm warning. The firm warning applies to entire firm, where contact warning only applies to this single contact. What do we usually enter here? Things like do not send certain reporters, or only send certain reporters, or any other things that you like to know about this attorney. For example, this is young Lee guy has a bad accent and hard to understand. So that'll help the co-reporter. Probably they don't want to go to these attorneys' depositions. And then in the additional tab, this email is the, obviously, let's say the attorney's email address, where all the, and then we're going to change the communication type to email. And so all the correspondence you do when you notify this attorney that his files are available for download from RB Web, any kind of thing, whatever you do will go to this email address. In RB 8.1 recent update, we added additional email address because sometimes when you do send a confirmation to this client, confirmation is the acknowledgement of scheduling. As soon as we schedule a job for this attorney, we immediately send out a kind of a confirmation thanking them for scheduling with us, and list out all the detailed information, and we'll tell them we'll call a day before to reconfirm the appointment. And a lot of times that particular confirmation email, attorney might say, you know what, don't send me those confirmations to me. I'm too busy. I don't want my inbox inundated with those scheduling confirmations. Send that to my secretary. Okay, so I can actually say different email, and we can just simply have a totally different email address for that secretary. Okay, so and then this confirmation can be emailed here. So you can have either same or different email address for the confirmation. Now down here, the web account name and web password will be the login ID and password that this attorney will use initially to log into RB Web, and then after that he can change either or both. Okay. Marketing tab, pretty similar to the firm setting, where you can have a client of the co-reporter, the sales rep, the account executive for this at the attorney level. Rating, he can be preferred attorney, bad, that whatever rating drop down you create. Now at this point, I can do save and close out, or what I like to do is I actually want to click the save button. When I do that, I'll actually get a few more tabs. And let's talk about these additional tabs, where I can actually specify the assistants, the secretaries here, paralegals who works for this attorney in this tab. In this next tab, assistant of, is the other opposite, where this contact can be assistant of some other contact in this firm. So it's reversal lookup, where it can show all the contacts that I'm assistant of. You can also grant access to other people. For example, as an attorney, I don't have a time to log into RB Web and look at my transcript, download it, look at my calendar, and do all that kind of stuff. So I can give the full access rights to my files to other people, such as my secretary, or to my associates, or my senior partners in the law firm, for example. Vice versa, the next tab talks about that the other side, where these are the people that I have access to. So for example, if I see your names here, then when I log in, not only I can see my own activities, but I can also see other people's activities in RB Web. Their names are listed down here, have access to. Now the important tab here is called Prefer Services. Now this is what's called, some people call this a standing orders, or Prefer Services. This is something that this attorney will want on every single order. Every single depot, he prefers these items. So it'll be nice to know that he wants certain items all the time. So for example, I can just click New and say that in my miscellaneous charge or service item list, I can go to my production subgroup and say this attorney prefers Amicus Disc, always email to him, and I can put in a special instruction for the production department. Okay? And so I can add as many items that this particular attorney has as a standing orders. Okay? So that'll help. Now what happens is that when you do scheduling, production, turning, or billing, this list will pop up everywhere to remind you this attorney requires the ASCII in Amicus format. Let's go ahead and save and close this attorney contact.